how's it going? All right, 2006, 2007. Still writing graffiti with RE, Mike, and I'm still having my information put on the internet. People are still trying to get me in trouble with the law. Still trying to fuck me up. Instead of actually just going out there and writing graffiti and crossing me out. Honestly, it's fueled my engine at this point. I've used that as a way to be like, yeah, look, these motherfuckers doing all that, and I'm still coming off. And yeah, but actually put a little pep in my step. And so 2007, yeah. My mother, she dies. She has a heart attack. Goes to the New York hospital and pretty much brain dead. So I signed a do not resuscitate form. In other words, pull the plug. Because, you know, I talk to the doctors. I mean, they tell you all this mumbo jumbo bullshit. But, you know, I'm like, well, yo, dude, what's the bottom line? Is she going to be a vegetable? You know, where are we at here? And, you know, a couple days I thought about signing the form. My brother was very upset at me for that. My brother, yeah, it's probably still to this day, that caused a little friction between me and him. But I've actually had talks with my mother about situations like this, as I've had with my son. I tell my son, I'm ever in a coma or something like that, after a fucking month, man, just pull the fucking plug, man, you know, my personal opinion. And my mother used to, you know, she was very Irish, from Ireland, and she said this thing about dying with her boots on. And for you people out there that know my mother, know that she was spunky, man. She was like a short old me, like a short old female me. He didn't look like me. I'm gonna actually post a picture of it, and I'm actually still living in the Bronx with this girl Melissa on Costa Street in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. Yeah, my mother dies, my brother's pissed off, very mad at me. Yeah, he didn't like that shit. And I'm still writing graffiti. Now, this guy Scuff comes out again. He's always been out. Let me straighten that right now. Scuff's always been on the scene. And if he comes across my tag, or if he sees it in his travels and he's got a can of paint on him, he'll cross it out and write Scuff over it or whatever, YKK. And I necessarily didn't do that. I wait till, you know, it gets, anyway, at this point, it seemed to be getting to a boiling point where he started really wrecking through my shit. So I honestly didn't even notice it at first because I wasn't on the websites and stuff to see it, and I'm too busy putting in work, you know, writing graffiti elsewhere to actually know it until I did actually see it with my own eyes and shit. And then a few people were telling me, oh shit, went on the website, I'm like, oh shit, I got all these pictures of my shit smashed. I'm like, holy shit, what? So yeah, I started crossing out Scuff. And this guy Bet jumps on the scene. Now Bet, I haven't heard from him or knew him since the subway days. Since the 80s. This guy Bet used to write all over the fucking subways, man. He had a lot of letter lines, man. That dude was fucking up, man. Believe that shit, man. Yeah, him and Roaches. And, even take a branch off from like Crook, BT, AC, all that stuff, man. Yeah. Bet. He came out real hard, man. And he started smashing my shit. I had no idea why or anything. Honestly, I still don't. I mean, you know, we squashed it and all, but yeah, so he came out real fucking hard, man. It was like, by the time I caught on, I was down a couple hundred tags. I was like, yeah. But I mean, I write. Anyway, like, I'm just steady every 2 days. It's actually like my weekend, my vacation, you know, just riding around, listen. See, when I'm with this guy, RE, when we first had this conversation about taking shit down, I told him, okay, what you do, make yourself a fake email account, like Joe Blow or some crap, you know, the bird has landed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, .com, and you get in touch with me on that. Me, my address is all over the internet, so it don't matter. I told him I don't want to know where you live, I don't want to know anything about you. You do you, you know, you do this shit Friday, Saturday, boom, pash. So I honestly didn't even know where the guy lived. Maybe a mile or two away from me or something like that. And he would email me from that email address. It was just some shit he made up. We'd get in touch. He was always on time. He'd be in front of my house. Beep, beep, beep. You know, I'd come down with my paint. Sometimes started thinking a little something this, that, blah, 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 blah. So we might meet a block or two away. You know, whatever the situation may be. But yeah, every Friday like clockwork. Every Saturday like clockwork. Saturday was our heavy night. Saturday we'd go straight on up until sometimes 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Yeah. Yeah, we'd go heavy every fucking weekend after weekend after weekend. But I must admit, at this point, actually, we can say we got Manhattan Island, and he's got the Bronx at this point. He's just smashed the fuck out of the Bronx. I mean, you know, you had this whole pandemic thing, and people are doing fill-ins and shit. But when it comes to tags, man, nah, he fucking had that Bronx, man. I've been around, I've seen shit, and I know about shit. And like the old 70s writers, when they do it, they'll do one tag on a block or something, but they'll do every block. Don't get me wrong, you got dudes like FDT 56 and shit, man. Those dudes are like fucking graph gods, man. Some of the graph they did with Clyde and shit like that, still to this day they'll catch little tags and stuff, you know. But anyway, yeah, Ari, he would do it, man. He would go like me and shit. Ari. Like, yeah, he would smash it, man. Nah, he had the Bronx real fucking good. And at this point, he had Manhattan with me. Might have been slacking a little up around the Harlem area. Still, not necessarily East Harlem. East Harlem we always had smashed. You know, we always get East Harlem. But probably around West, yeah, like Washington Heights. Well, I mean, we'd fly over from the Bronx and get a little Washington Heights here and there. But I'd say probably more like the Polo Grounds area is where we fell off. Around that area we weren't really concentrating on. And yeah, so we're just still writing. Now Bet and Scuff come out and they start crossing us out. So we start crossing them out. Like I said, Scuff and me's been at it for over 20 years or something at this point. You know, like a lot of people make a big stink about JA and stuff, but as far as I can see, Scuff's always been you know, a worse opponent, I'd say, or a more worthy opponent. I don't know how you get what I'm saying, right? Like Scuff is a dude, like if he sees you, he'll come after you and fight you. You know, J.A. won't do that. He'll run away. So, yeah, a whole different animal. And as far as it goes with graffiti-wise, yeah, in my eyes, Scuff definitely would probably be the one person that really fucked my shit up. Yeah, Scuff. I'd say he's probably the number one person that came at me the hardest and took out the most of my shit, and probably, yeah, Scuff gave me the hardest. I would say that, yes. For the streets, Scuff. For the subways, I would probably go to Ghost and them. Yeah, Ghost, he knew how to get to my Ghost and Ven, both of them dudes, man. Yeah, they'd get me good. That's with the subways, but, you know, at the end of the whole strip there, they got me pretty good. And as far as it goes to the streets, I'd say Scuff. And that, I wouldn't even say J.A. is second or probably not even third. Like I said, I hadn't had problems with him since 89, 1990 or something like that. I mean, if my mind serves me correct. But yeah, I got a pretty good memory. Yeah, at least I didn't have no thoughts like that. So anyway, all right, getting back to what's going on. It's about 2007. My mother's dead. Scuff and Bet are coming out at me hard. So I go to my work and I tell them, look, I got this emergency thing happening. Yeah, I'm going to need some time off. You know, so I took off a month. And boom, I was out every fucking night writing graffiti. Every fucking night, man. I was out every fucking night. Boom, 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 boom. Now you got to realize, when me and R.E. would go out every Friday night, every Saturday night, we'd each have 7 silvers. That's 14 cans. Now, at this point, we're not using the little white rustos like I was using with just DWC. At this point, I'm using those large pound silvers that write like this, you know? Maybe like that. I don't want to exaggerate. Yeah, like that. I've got them to write like that. If you move slow, hold it far away. Yeah, yeah, big pound silvers. But the tags, we're doing them bigger, thicker. And we were doing that shit right on Front Street. Boom, 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 you know? Yeah. and scuffing them right on Front Street, bagging our shit, bum, 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 scuffing back, yeah, tearing our shit up, back TFV. So, now it actually had gotten to the point where I started bugging out. I'm saying to myself, how is it possible that we started out the night and we crossed them out there? And my girlfriend, Melissa, used to work in SOBs, my girlfriend at that point, no longer my girlfriend. And SOBs, she used to work there. The door was a couple of doors away from the entrance to SOBs, maybe right around the corner type thing. So go there, boom, catch that door, and it's like by the end of the night, it's like they would already have come back and crossed it out on Barrack Street. So like, how the fuck is this shit possible? You know, I mean, this went on for a couple of weeks, and not just there. It happened in a few different locations that were prime, and I'm like, well, you know, it could be quite coincidental that they're just riding around there, checking all the same spots. Like they got a little checklist and shit, and they're looking, oh, let's see what's going on over here. Oh shit, they're out tonight. Let's go. You know, there's that. Blah blah blah. You know, so maybe they had a little checklist, but I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, fuck that, man. I started doing shit right on the fucking highway, man. Boom, 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 right on the FDR Drive, man. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you want to fuck around? Let me see you crawl out here, motherfucker. Boom, boom, boom. And then they would get it. They'd get it. Yeah, one time I actually was like, like SKU. And like, he must have, like, the shit was to hit the fan and he couldn't do the F. Or maybe his can stopped, but I like to think that like the shit at the fan, he couldn't finish his F. Yeah, I took them dudes to hell and back, man. They were right on my ass. I was like, fuck that, man. I started Broadway, you know, I'd go right in the heart of shit, you know. See if they were there, man. They would fuck my shit up real good, man. And actually, like I said, they were getting my shit at like the same night I was doing it. So I say, how is this shit possible? So then, you know, hey, I'm on this internet thing, this Streets of Saying Things website. You know, there are dominant people on there. I cannot say that Bet, TFV, or Scuff, YKK, had put that information on there. I don't think they did that. And I know who had the information to give them, you know what I mean? So, which was actually Cope, too. That was my own stupid fault, believe it or not. We'll get to that in a minute. So, anyway, yeah, Scuff and Batman running me around there, ragging my shit as quick as I could do it. And I'm like, you know, but I still had like hundreds of tags out there. You know, I was still okay. You know, by the time I noticed it, and there was a lot of areas that I didn't have to worry about now. Just as long as I keep these motherfuckers over in an area. And I did. I was able to corral them, kind of, you know. Yeah, they never really broke off too far from the box, you know. So that's the thing about me with Manhattan. If like you want to fuck with me, you gotta come to me. You get me? It's almost like I won't like tap you over here and there. I'll just stay active here. So you have to come to like home turf or whatever. And it's an easier thing. Plus it's the whole mindset. You know, it's not their borough. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, smashing the fuck out of me, man. They're going ape shit on me. And it's fun. I mean, I love that shit, man. That shit took me back. That was like, honestly, like for the past 15 years, it was a snooze fest out there, man. Other than assholes putting my information on the computer, there was really nothing active, like nothing really amazing except for me. I mean, yeah, fucking all day. Yeah. No, I took my own horn. Fuck yeah, man. Shit, yeah. There was nothing really going on until Scuff and Bet came out at me. It was fun. Like I said, I took a month off from work. I was smashing the fuck out of them. They were smashing the fuck out of me. This shit went back and forth. I go on the internet, on the Streets of Saying Things, and I notice Ari, the guy I'm writing the graffiti with, Mike, is actually chatting with this FE guy. And they were all buddy, chuckling it up. Like two little schoolgirls or something at lunchtime. You know, so I kept my opinion to myself. I wait until I meet Ari that Friday night. And I'm like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? You telling these people? Wait. Yeah, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, man, yo, he's chilling with that dude, Bet, bro. Look, man, they fucking writing together, man. Come on, man. You tell FE, and FE tells Bet and Scuff goes across the shit out, man. I said, I told you not to fuck with other writers, man. If you're going to hang out with me, you know, you put me out here, like, you know, I got you here. You know what I'm saying? Like, And don't make me look bad. You know what I'm saying? And all right, don't do that no more. And it was shortly after that, I'm coming out of work, literally like the next week or so. I'm coming out of my building from work. It was lunchtime. And like I feel like someone's looking at me. You know, I've been out there a long time, man. I'm scrappy, you know. I feel like someone's drilling through me, you know. So I turn off to the side. I see this dude, you know, big dude, you know. Not big in height, but just, you could tell, big, powerful looking dude, like an Italian dude, you know. So he's looking at me like he want to wring my fucking neck, right? Says, hey, Vinny, what's up there? You know, he's looking at me like, he said, say, Andrew, how the fuck you know it's me, this and that. To all that shit, go, come on, let's go fight. I said, all right, let's go fight. We were actually looking for a place to fight, and it's like cops and shit like that. And then we're talking and stuff. So we're like, yo, this is stupid shit. We squashed it. Shook hands. So, yes, Bet is the only human being that used that information that these people were putting all over the fucking internet. And he actually went there. He says, all right, let's do this. You know? However, it got squashed, like I said. It's a hot neighborhood and all. But, yeah, he's the only human being that went there. And hundreds of times the shit was posted, or for over the period of time it was posted. Bet stepped up to the plate and was like, yo, fuck that. I'm going to go see what's about this dude. You know? You gotta respect that, man. You gotta respect that. Everyone else didn't. Now, maybe a couple of weeks passed, and he actually comes up to my house in the Bronx now. Like I said, we squashed it. We're cool, you know. And he brings J.A. with him. You know, so, you know, J.A. and this and that. He's hanging out. And, you know, so we're squashing beef and everything. I said, yeah, sure. You know, he's like with 357 this and that. I said, yeah, I could pretty much squash beef for you with everyone in my crew. My crew, not like my crew, like it, because I'm just telling you people this, it's not my crew. Never was my crew. But I've been in that crew. So therefore, it's the way I'm referenced, my crew. I'm not a president. Never was, never wanted to be. Anyway, I told him, yeah, I could pretty much straighten it out there, this, that. I says, however, there's two people I know that it ain't going to work. I said, one is Lace, 357. I said, he pissed at you, man. He wants to kill you. And I said, Spawn, GNR, I have no say over that dude, man. He hangs out with us sometimes, this, that. It's not my place, my position. I wouldn't even ask him the question. So, you know, because they say, oh, Spawn, this, that. I said, I'm sorry, I can't answer for him. That's something y'all got to figure out one day, you know. And I said, just those two people. Everyone else, yeah. I said, you know, like normal run-of-the-mill. And actually, at that point, it really was just me and R.E. Like I said, I'd go down to John Jay Park. I'd ask you, oh, what's wrong, man? I just got divorced. Let's go write graffiti. And like, come on, Rob, what are you, 10 years old? You know, yeah, these guys, you know, like I said, most of them became pretty hardened criminals, man. A lot of them do some wild shit, man. You read about in the newspaper and shit. A lot of them in just different areas and different parts and shit. It's like, but it's just in their blood, man. It's how we rolled back in the days when we were younger, man. Yeah. Now, at this point, there's like no one even sitting in that park no more. I think a bunch of little kids with skateboards or something. It's nothing to do with me or anyone I hung out with or anything like that. At this point, I'm talking about. So there really is no 357. Like I said, it's just me and RE. And we're not even writing 357. Very few times have we have, it's like a waste of paint. You know, it's a 357, I could do 2 RD tags with that shit, shoot. You know, times of war, you know, you gotta conserve, man. You know, tighten up the belt and all that shit, yeah. So now, alright, mother's that fire hydrants. Yeah, I started kicking in on these fire hydrants. I forgot all about that. Right about now, yeah. 2006, 2007, yeah. Yeah, fire hydrants, definitely. Also, when my mother had passed away, I started to leave the place I was at in Hunts Point, the Bronx, on Costa Street. You know, where I was staying with that girl, Melissa. And, after my mother had died, I figured I'd go down to that apartment. And this girl, Melissa, had her baby's father. He was kind of like a dick. Got me arrested and all types of stupid shit. So, yeah, it was kind of like, you know, I'm bounced. You know, we would still hang out and shit, but I ain't gonna live here no more, man. So I bounced. I went down to Manhattan, my mother's house. Moved in with my brother. He was still tight about that shit with my mother, like he believes I killed my mother. I guess technically I signed the paper, but I believe in my conversations with my mother. Here today, what is it, December 2nd, December 3rd or something like that, 2021. I believe in my heart and my soul I did the right thing. My brother was mad. Yeah, we had a couple fights over that, a couple of pretty bloody battles, I would say. Yeah, but yeah, so we moved in there, me, my kid, my dog, his dog. Started living there, so Ari started coming there and picking me up. At this point, they didn't have my address. However, that address, people used to come by there in the 80s. Yeah, people come by, yo, RD. My mother would throw hot water down on them and curse them out in fucking Gaelic and shit. Yeah, people come by them and, hey, yo, RD, this and right across the street, Italians used to hang out and shit. You know, vagabando, man. You know, they used to be pissed at that shit. They're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Well, you know, it ain't me. I ain't yelling out the fucking window. I don't know. I talk to them. Obviously, they're not friends of mine. You hear what they're saying, right? You don't like it, do something about it, man. You know, tell them I'm just one little kid here. What can I do? You know, you guys are down there on that floor, you know. Anyway, yeah. So I moved back to there. It's on 62nd Street, 344 East 62nd Street, apartment number 13 at that point. Yeah. And that's where I kind of grew up. I lived there throughout the late 60s. Well, no, since 71, 72, up until, yeah, like, I don't know, I kind of bounced out the house at an early age. Just, you know, group homes in Spofford and DFY facilities, juvenile centers. And I kind of grew up quick, so, yeah, I've been in and out of that place my whole life. But at this point, my mother's dead. I moved in. The rent's cheap. You know, my brother built a bunk bed. My kid sleeps up top. I sleep in the bunk. This, that, and you got the dog there. My brother's dog, the Argentinian Dogo, and my pit bull, which was named Honey. It's still writing graffiti, and I'm kicking into the hydrants. But I had already started writing on the hydrants up in the Bronx because I'd walk the dogs around the Bronx. And the fire hydrant deal is perfect when you got a dog. I used all those greens because I stole the green they used to paint rebar, shit they run through cement. I stole this shit from a construction site, 127th Street and 2nd Avenue, 1st Avenue. That big, huge MTA bus depot lot. Right there, actually. They might have been digging because they lined up that some kind of slave burial ground. So I believe I might have got that paint from them digging that shit up, or like around that period of time. It's possible. I might be off by a block or so, but no, I'm pretty sure that's where I got the paint from. That place. They had a piece of it cordoned off, and they had like 11 cases of that shit sitting there. They got cement. Well, they were redoing that whole parking lot floor, so yeah, that's where I got that green paint from. And I used little 11 cases or something. Yeah, I used all 11 cases of that shit. On fire hydrants or some fire hydrants. I pick fire hydrants because they're black or dark red or something dark colors normally. And this shit was like a line, like swampy, avocado-y, like green. You know, shit looked like toxic water or something. It was thick rubberized shit. It was rubber. It was sprayed rubber. And I had no other use for it. I wasn't going to run around doing fill-ins because first off, I'm not a fill-in person. That's not my style. I like to do my tags. And also, it was kind of like the green. Remember John 156 and Joey TDS was doing the JoJo, J-O-J-O. They were killing like the letter lines, like the A's, the CC's with these big, huge, snotty bubble letters. But I believe they were using clover green or safety green or something like that. Yeah, like a Rusto or something. A nice fat cap, and they were doing it with black. So anyway, I didn't want to run around doing fill-ins with that green because I figured it looked like I'm jocking those guys. You know, Joey TDS with the JoJos, and you had John 1 with the Jon 156, real big sloppy looking stuff. It's cool shit. I enjoyed it. Alright, so yeah, I didn't want to do that, so that's why I didn't run around doing fill-ins with it. Fire hydrants seemed to be the thing to do. However, I did think of it, and that honestly is what came to my mind. I'm like, what am I, John 156 now? Fuck, I ain't doing that shit. I swear, that's what went through my mind. And really couldn't write on that one. I went write on a bunch of mailboxes with the shit. So fire hydrants seemed to be the thing. Now, when hitting these fire hydrants, yes, I got the idea from Senfor. Senfor. Yeah, he was hitting them before me. I mean, I've hit fire hydrants throughout my life, but yes, Senfor sat down one day and said, I'm going to write on a bunch of fire hydrants. And he did. He went out and set forth on this mission. Better than him. For the simple fact that I'm called the fire hydrant king. He's not. If he did more than me or was recognized for it, they'd be calling him the fire hydrant king. And trust me, believe this from the bottom of my fucking heart. That shit's like an insult to me, first off, to be called the fire hydrant king. Like, all the fucking damage I've done in my life, and it's almost like a curse. These fucking fire hydrants, honestly. I wind up getting arrested over that fire hydrant bullshit. Yeah, fucking hey, a curse, nothing more than a fucking curse, a plague on my graffiti career, these fucking fire hydrants. Real. But anyway, yeah, this guy's Senfor. He starts, you know, they're, like I said, they're always putting my information on the internet, my name, my address, where I live, and my work. As a matter of fact, somewhere along the line at this point I bumped into Cost also. They were doing it to him too. Somehow they found out where Cost was living, and they were putting his information on it. And actually, to this day, you could Google a Cost, this, that, blah, blah, and you'll see his information pop up. I was actually looking at it the other day on the internet, you know, where I get my information from. I got to look through things and prove my facts, and, you know, make sure my dates and all match up, you know. So, yeah, I noticed they're actually, like, they're still doing it to him. If not, it's old shit out of it. But anyway, yeah, they kept doing that shit and doing it and doing it. And now, at this point, this guy Senfor starts in with his bullshit. No, you know, I was doing that shit before you, and I'm stealing his culture, and almost like a white Karen or some shit. But this is way before that. But yeah, pretty much, you know, the white man stealing shit again or something like that. And, you know, that got me thinking, Lincoln, you know, I thought about it. I said, what is, like, there are more black people that write graffiti than white people? I think the Puerto Ricans got us all beat, honestly, but I don't know. I sit and I think about it, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. I know there's less white people that do it than anyone, but I know a lot of motherfucking white people that write graffiti and have always have. Like, I don't know, like the way it was worded, like, I don't listen to rap music. I don't dress like a homeboy or nothing like that. And I've been writing graffiti, you know, my whole life. I like graffiti, and I've never actually put a color on it like that. That kind of like bugged me out, you know. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what? So anyway, I was like, yeah, man, fuck you, man. What came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, so anyway, on all these ramps, they started making memes of me, or whatever they call them, you know, on Instagram, when they take your body or your face and they do shit with it. Yeah. They actually made one like a not Geraldo Rivera, he's a long time ago, Jerry Springer, Maury. They did one of me with Maury, like when they do the pregnancy test. It's funny as fuck. I ain't gonna lie, I kept it. I'm gonna post it. At the end of this video, keep your eyes out for that. I'm actually lifting a fire hydrant up off the ground in my apartment. But this is a little later. This is jumping a little ahead, but they were talking about Senfor and shit, you know. It's like, yeah, I'm lifting a fire hydrant up with an RD on it. I have no shirt on. I'm in my shorts. I'm in my bare feet. I'm lifting it up in this very room I'm sitting in talking to you in now. And, I don't know, they photoshopped it to say Senfor. They actually took a Senfor fire hydrant picture and photoshopped it. It was cool, man. It was funny as fuck. You know? But, yeah, that racial shit was kind of weird to me, man. Like, I don't know. I honestly never looked at nothing like that. Like, I mean, I guess it's just, you know, you try to get someone upset or something like that. You come to me, you figure out what they're like. Them calling me a fag, or them calling me a fucking, I got AIDS, I'm a crackhead, or I'm a transvestite, I'm a cross-dresser. You know, I guess this is something else, you know, just to hurt me or something. But yeah, that did have me sit back and think about it for a minute. Like, you know, what the fuck are you saying, man, you know? But I really didn't let it bother me. And it's funny because I actually stayed out of his little area there in the Lower East Side in Chinatown. just because I knew he had the hydrants down there, and I really didn't want to make him look bad. You know, so I come through. It's fucking. I come through. You know, like I said, I started this shit right up around the Hunts Point area. I'd go out with the dog and boom, 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 boom. Before you know it, I get to the bridge that goes into Manhattan. I go over that bridge, boom, I start going river to river to river to river, up every block, down the next. I was going through the blocks almost like the subway cars. And I mean, just to write on these hydrants, but even back in the days I would do that. I'd look at each block like the insides of a subway car. 10 blocks. You know, it's one set of cars, you know. But, yeah, with the fire hydrants, there's 2 on each block, each corner, you have 2, 1 on each side. Yeah, so, boom, 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 boom. I'd go from the East River to the Hudson River, East River to the Hudson River. I kept doing this all through Harlem until I got to 110th Street, which is where Central Park begins. So now you have the east side of Central Park all the way down to 59th Street. You have the west side of Central Park all the way down to 59th Street. Of course, I lived on the east side. I ripped through that shit very easily. Got in trouble for it. And the west side did the same thing. From 110th Street to 59th Street. I went from Central Park, the wall of Central Park, all the way to the river. And then up the next street. Like, say, 79th, I'd go all the way to the river. On 80th, I'd go all the way to Central Park. On 81st, you get me? On, like, 81st, I'd go all the way to back and put back and put back and put back and put. Until I got the whole shit. Wherever I leave off, I just remember in my mind. The next time I go out, boom, I go right back out there. So now when I'm living in Manhattan, that shit became very easy. Because I could actually do that every night. I could do that for a little time. You know, I'd walk my brother's dog. It's a big, strong dog. It could hold its own. It could travel for long distances. It's scary looking. People aren't too quick to fuck with you. But then again, you don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get my brother's dog taken from him and put to sleep or something like that for writing graffiti, you know. So you got to be careful. But it's good because the dog was so tall. It was actually taller than a fire hydrant. It's almost like I could match the fire hydrant up to the dog's back leg. And just do my tag, and no one will even see me. They just think I'm petting my dog's back leg or something, like just, you know. Yeah, it worked well. But yeah, at that point, it was no problem at all. Boom, boom, boom. Went all through Radio City Music Hall, all through fucking Diamond District, Turtle Bay, Kips Bay, Chelsea, blah, 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 all the way fucking down, man. East Village, West Village, Chinatown, Little Italy, Financial District, fucking the Pier, South Street Seaport area, Nassau, St. John's, yeah, all the way down right to the tip of Manhattan, the ferry, South Ferry. Boom, 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 boom. Took over that shit a couple of years. About 2 years it took me. About 2 years maybe, yeah. And I'm sorry, but the 740 didn't go that far with it. Now, actually, I do see he spread it out. Like, before my arrest, he started spreading it out. I started seeing him going to Queens and stuff like that and spreading it out a little more. But, yeah, I've always had respect for him, 740, but I really didn't like that shit, like I said on Instagram. You know, I don't know, like, you know, I thought he was like a dude, you know, like the Lower East Side and this and that, and, you know, like he don't condone that kind of shit, like, you know, where people post my address and shit like that. You know, I thought he was like with the code and shit like that, but nah, he just proved to me to be no more better than the rest of them, you know, just another shithead, you know. Yeah, kept writing and writing and writing graffiti. Now, fire hydrants, fire hydrants, fire hydrants. The reason I started hitting them real hard like that is because, like I was saying with me writing graffiti with Just before, I get up everywhere in Manhattan with Just. That means we're both up the same. So now you got to start scratching your head and you're looking at the dude like, who's up more? Yeah, you know, that shit does happen, man. If you're a real dog, you know the feeling, man. So, yeah, when me and Just were writing, I'd sneak out and write graffiti behind his back. I swear, this is a true fucking story. I remember once, you know, I'm not feeling good today, you know. And he's like, yeah, you know, this time. Figuring, shit, I see him out there writing graffiti. Like, while I'm writing graffiti. Yeah, that shit was funny, like 23rd Street or something like that. But yeah, so with RE, I'm like, if I'm up everywhere he's up, and he's got the Bronx smashed, that leaves me a little off to the side. So I says, I got to kind of make up this shit because I didn't really give a fuck about the Bronx. I'm like, if I'm going to do something in the Bronx, I'm going to do this shit like on like the mouth of a tunnel, like a train with like MTA shit. If I'm going to go up to the Bronx, I'm going to do some shit that like you could see from the subway or something like that. Like I'm not just going to randomly floor it. Although I did, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of tags. I did a lot of tags in the Bronx. I really did, but not like RE. Like when you're working against, the odds, like when you see what RE did, it's like impossible for you to envision catching up to it. Like honestly, yeah, he had that shit like that. It was just, you got that shit. I'll be over here. Yeah, for real. And I'm assuming that's the impression that I wanted to set upon all these assholes who were fucking with me on the computer. I want them to be like, oh my God, is this real? Did he really do this shit? But, that was my honest thing. It was like hit hard and fucking heavy and fast, man. Just fucking shut shit down. And like I said, Manhattan Island, I've had a system of doing it. I could break it down to you, but we'll save that for another podcast. I'm really just trying to get through my life's thing here, and then we could get into all the stuff later. But on a quick note, you hit the hottest spots first. So this way, by the time you're kind of burnt, you're already fucking around in bullshit areas that aren't so hot. You get me? Hot first, spread it out. Get the hard hot spots first. And towards the end, you're just stuck with a bunch of soft targets. You can snail them up real quick, call yourself a king. Boom, done. Yeah. That's the way I always looked at it. So yeah, you get the hot spots first. Because, if you start fucking around with the soft spots first, and you fuck up a little bit here and there, and you draw attention to yourself or something like that, you have a couple of run-ins with the law or something, all of a sudden, it just makes the hard spots, like you're already on the spotlight, now it's hard to hit a spotlight when you're on the spotlight. You get me? It's just, you want to hit them when you're fresh out the gate, the hard spots, fresh out the fucking gate. Take them shits down. Yeah, worry about the little bullshit lady. Catch that shit on your way home, Fuck that. That's my fucking way. So yeah, well, a lot of fire hydrants. I'll put a bunch of them pictures on too. I don't know, you guys want to see a bunch of fire hydrants everywhere? You get the idea. I'll put one or two on. It's just the same thing over and over again, like a lot. So it's no big deal. And then, alright, so now, yeah, we could bang this shit right on up. Like I said, me and RE hung out for about, I did the math because I was looking at our emails. Like I was saying, he made an email account. But that was like 2014. And we were already talking, so, I've known him probably for about 12 years, but we wrote graffiti for about 10 years and 4 or 5 months straight, without a problem, yeah. Yeah, that's about the best way I can look at it. And, yeah, I'll break down how that came to an end in my next video. Alright, people, take care. Now, you're going to be looking for a picture of my mother, right? Yeah, I said I'll put a picture of my mom. I actually got a picture of my mother with Melissa, so I'll put that picture on. I'll put 1 or 2 fire hydrants, and I'll put the picture of the Sen 4, that meme, the thing he's making fun of me. It's like a joke that I'm lifting up a Sen 4 fire hydrant instead of an RD fire hydrant. Yeah, funny shit, right? No, I did find it funny, but. And even when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is hilarious, man. This dude flipped it, with the Maury and shit. But yeah, you are not the baby's mother, or the baby's father. You get me? When they do that, they test the DNA test to see if their father is the father of a child on the Maury Povich show. Hey, check. You are not the baby. And on this one particular one, it's like RD says he is the one who started fire hydrants or something. DNA test says that you are not. I don't know, something like that. It's been a while since I looked at it, but I'll dig it up and I'll put it on. Peace.